Now on the Locked On Celtics podcast, Jayson Tatum came back. He looked and then he looked great. And oh yeah, they won a basketball game.
Locked On Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day. Your team's the Boston Celtics, and I talk about them Monday through Friday, plus a bonus podcast like this one here from TD Garden. I'm up in the rafters. Just a little different background for you, but I'm here. I'm at TD Garden after the Boston Celtics 120-100 win over the Dallas Mavericks. The game was secondary. Oh, yeah, Cooper Flagg was here. Like, that was maybe the third or fourth biggest storyline in this game. So I'll be talking about all of that stuff. So thank you for subscribing to shows on YouTube, shows everywhere. I'm John Karalis. I've been covering this team for about 20 years, doing it right now for Sports Illustrated Celtics on SI. And I've been doing this podcast for 10 years. So, been around the team for a while. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. College basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every single night. From early tip-offs to late-night West Coast shootouts, there's always action on the board. FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into bigger potential wins with college basketball parlay profit boost. You can build any college hoops parlay that you want. You can mix spreads, totals, player props, and match how you see the slate playing out. Then you can apply the profit boost and instantly bump up the potential payout. So go safe, go bold, ride with the team that you've been following all season. It's your parlay, it's your style, it's all up to you. And now there's more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. When you sign up, they will ask you to set a limit, set your budget, whatever you can afford to lose in case you go cold. That's what you set your budget at. So do that at FanDuel.com. Gamble responsibly at FanDuel. Play your game. All right, so the Celtics get the win here. I'll talk about that more in the second segment. Just the game. I'm going to do two segments here because I don't want to go breaking down this game too much because the only thing to break down here is Jayson Tatum's return. 15 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. He missed his first few shots. So he missed 4 in a row, 5 in a row, 6 in a row. Let's rewind it though. Let's rewind. The atmosphere here was kind of crazy. I had multiple people telling me this felt like almost a version of the game, an NBA Finals game. It was more than a playoff atmosphere. It was something bigger. It was something, yeah. Obviously, you had a bunch of different elements here. You had Cooper Flagg coming back. I saw a lot of Cooper Flagg jerseys around. And when they introduced him, there was a big pop. Obviously, he's a local kid. People came down to see him. There are a lot of people from Maine here. Celtics fans wearing Mavericks Cooper Flagg jerseys. So we had that dynamic. Obviously, Tatum was coming back. 7 o'clock start. No empty seats to start. The Garden is good. This is not like it's Miami where 7 o'clock start. The lower bowl is not going to fill up till 7:45. The crowd is usually here, but 7 o'clock Friday night, people might still be getting their checks over across at the Harp or whatever, and to be here and in your seat right at the beginning, there might be some late stragglers. When we were standing up for the national anthem, I looked around. I always like to look around at the crowd, and I don't think there was a single empty seat. So there was anticipation. Jayson came out for warm-ups, and it was, the DJ, they played like an entrance music. Everybody gathered around. He came out to this big crowd and applause, and it was obviously a very different kind of thing. You could tell that he was a little anxious. He said he was a little anxious, a little nervous. At that point, a lot of the things that we expected kind of happened. He was a little off. The shot was a little off. He passed a lot. He looked like a guy that was working himself back in. But at the same time, a lot of things happened that I didn't expect. Number one, he played 27 minutes, and I didn't expect that at all. I was expecting, obviously, I've been on the podcast saying, bring him in off the bench, give him 7-8 minute stints. That's 15, 16, 17 minutes and be done with it. So he comes in, he starts, which is totally fine. So he started and played 27 minutes. And right away, that tells me that he's been doing a lot more work behind the scenes than we really understood. The whole, we took the scrimmage with Maine, I think, to be like, well, this is his first scrimmage. And I don't think it was now. I think that he has been doing a lot more work with the team. I think whatever they let on, there was much more behind the scenes. He clearly was gassed at points. The dunk attempts where he got blocked by the rim, that I think was a result of some heavy legs. It was, I think, towards the end of a stint, and he thought he had more. He wouldn't have tried the dunk if he didn't think he had the explosion. I think on his way up, he might have been like, uh-oh. He still tried the dunk, and it, whatever. That happens. Like, that's I do not care about that play at all. Heavy legs, whether it's, a little bit of fatigue from his first game in 300 days, practically being out for 10 months. None of the missed shots or any of that stuff mattered to me at all. But the 27 minutes, the starting and playing 6-minute stints. So you had like 6, 12, 18, 24, and then a little 3-minute stint at the end of the second quarter. That I just believe that the progress that he had made was much more significant heading in to this game. There's a reason why I and others were saying 15 to 20 minutes tops, because we didn't realize the extent of what he had been, where he had gotten to, right? I thought he was here, and he ended up being here. He still needs to get up here. And, if you're not watching, I just made a little thing with my hands about like lower, higher than that thing. I think you could judge that from the tone of my voice. But I didn't expect him to be as far up as he was. So great. That's great. This is all great. I would rather, a million times out of a million, be wrong in this manner where I underestimated something and be wrong because it's much better. Like even in the Miyashikata stuff, for example, I'd do that all over again. I'd rather undersell something and have it be a much like a pleasant surprise than to be out here being like, he's going to play 30 minutes and score 30 points. And then he plays 25 minutes and scores 15. You're like, well, it wasn't as good as you were saying. I would much rather go low and exceed that expectation. So Tatum exceeded the expectation as far as minutes. I thought right away, he had a nice alley-oop to Nemi early on for his basically the first touch of the game. Moved the ball well. I think he was seeing the floor well. The chemistry was there. It was, a little off, but still there. He and Jaylen are figuring things out. There was one play, Jaylen, I popped onto Jaylen's Twitch stream just to see and see what he had been saying. And, he's talking about adjusting his game a little bit to be a little bit more of a catch and shoot guy. Now that Jayson is back, Jaylen doesn't have to be as much on ball, which is great. This is all great stuff. And just like Jayson won't have to be on ball as much, he can be a catch and shoot guy sometimes too, because Jaylen has gotten so good on the ball. So there's an adjustment period for both of these guys, which I think ultimately will be a very good thing. The adjusting in that way is much better than adjusting in a different way, which, side note, they lost Nikola Vucevic, a fracture in his right ring finger. So he's going to have surgery on that and miss up to a month, it seems like, according to Shams Charania. That surgery is going to be done this weekend. So there's adjustments that are going to have to be done now on both sides. And, that kind of sucks. That's going to hurt their chances, I think. Just from Jayson, this was the opportunity for Jayson to get the opportunities with Vooch, to get some reps with Vooch, and I thought that was a pairing that was going to work together. Now we'll never see whether Vooch was going to start or not start or anything like that. This is just going to be Nemi starting, and that might have been how it went anyway. But anyway, that's a side note. Jayson, after like that last stretch in the second quarter, that kind of settled him down. He got up for that back dunk, and they immediately came down. So he gets the putback dunk. They go down, score. Derrick White does a great job of getting the ball in bounds right away, running down the floor. Jayson gets open in the left corner and hits that corner three-pointer, a little sidestep corner three. And this place was as loud as I've heard this. Like it has never been louder than this. It was NBA Finals loud. It was Payton Pritchard hitting that buzzer beater loud. That's how crazy it was in here. So he hits those two shots. The crowd was just itching, right? He had that missed dunk, and the crowd was and he missed it, and it's like deflating. They wanted so badly to cheer for him, and the intro was great. All the ceremony, everything was great, and finally he breaks through, gets that putback dunk, gets the 3-pointer, and now he hits 4 or 5 shots in a row, and it settles into a very nice night for him. If you just take his second half, like overall, it was a nice night, right? 15 points, 12 rebounds, 6 of 16 shooting, 3 of 8 from 3 is good. 7 assists, a couple of turnovers, and a steal, not bad. I would have been happy with his second half, which was, let's see, the second half numbers for Jayson Tatum were 13 minutes, 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a plus 15. If he had just given us that 13 minutes would have been perfect. But the game that he gave us was for a first game back after 10 months coming off of the Achilles. Couldn't ask for anything more. It was equal parts, rusty, but playing through it, getting past it. You are pushing his lung capacity, which you wanted him to be tired. You wanted him to be breathing hard. That's going to increase the lung capacity. Joe Mazzulla said it after the game. You can't simulate a lot of this stuff. You can't simulate this cardio that he's getting in the game. So this is all great stuff. Everything, forget the scoring, forget anything. Just him going out there and playing as much as he did is great. I'll save it for the next podcast. But I'll just say this. If this is the starting point for Tatum, I feel really good about what he's going to bring to this team. There was always a question mark here about what's Tatum going to be for the Celtics? How good is he going to be? What percentage of Tatum are they going to get? Is it going to be 75? Is it going to be 80? Is it going to be 90? I feel good that Tatum is going to be a reasonable version of himself. Will he get to be 100% of himself by some point in the playoffs? I'm not going to say no, because I'm just not going to say no to anything with this team anymore. I can't say something is not going to happen, because they always prove you wrong. It's unlikely to happen, but whatever version of Tatum you get, whatever percentage, this is the starting point. This version of Jayson Tatum would help the Celtics in the playoffs. This version tonight, the first game back, this version helps the Boston Celtics. Now give him 6 weeks of games, 18, 19 more games, whatever it is. I don't know what the plan is for Sunday. I wouldn't expect him to play, but maybe he will. I don't know. I think he's going to miss some games here and there. I don't think he's going to play back-to-backs. So he will miss more time moving forward. But whatever amount of games it's going to be, each game, he's going to build on it. Maybe the game won't look as good as the last one. Maybe it'll look better. Maybe it'll look worse. But each game is an opportunity to build on that recovery, build on that rehab. So super, super encouraging return for Jayson Tatum. I can't find, like, I want to be fair. I want to be reasonable. I want to look at all of the potential angles here. I can't see a negative he looked good. This was as encouraging as you can expect. I can't say enough about what Tatum was in this game. It was a game, by the way. It's like the result of the game was secondary. The Celtics won, and other guys played great in this game. Let's just quickly do that when I come back. Today's podcast, today's show is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. It's the flavor draft at 5 Hour Energy. We're going to do 18 different flavors to choose from. New options like confetti craze, free rainbow, cotton candy. There's something for everyone. Board is set. The flavors are ready. My number one pick in the 5 Hour Energy flavor draft. I'm sticking to my. I like the fruity flavors. I've been going between grape and berry. I like the berry flavor, but listen, you got something for everybody. Are you like a sweet tooth? Confetti craze is sweet, not overly sweet, but sweet. Rich, indulgent sweetness from start to finish. No sugar. That's the key thing here. This is 5 Hour Energy. You're not drinking dessert. You want it to taste like dessert if you're into that, but it's not sugar filled. It's just energy. It's not the sugar crash or anything like that. So if you got a super sweet tooth, confetti craze could be your choice. I'm going berry because it's the big, bold berry flavor, slightly sweet. It's that smooth sweetness without being overly sugary. It's that familiar, easy to recognize fruit profile, that raspberry, blackberry kind of mix. It's a traditional go-to flavor. I like that traditional standby. When you're grabbing a 5 Hour Energy on the go, you want it to just hit you right. This is my kind of thing, but I know my wife is going to want the cotton candy or the birthday cake or something like that. Whatever your choice is at 5 Hour Energy, you got the boost with zero sugar, and you go to 5hourenergy.com. That's the number 5hourenergy.com, or on Amazon to pick some up. Today's show is also brought to you by Indeed. You're hiring, but you've also got deadlines. You've got a stack of things in your inbox. It's just too much going on, but you still need to fill that job. And you're not just going to sit there and hope that somebody comes in, just like Brad Stevens doesn't hope that somebody shows up out of nowhere and can help fill a gap on his team. He's got scouts. He's got people giving him the players that check off all the boxes. Your version of that is Indeed sponsored jobs. They will help you reach the people that actually fit what you're looking for, the skills, the experience, the location. So they check off all your boxes, and they can help you fill that spot quicker than just hoping. We're talking for about a minute here. 27 hires will be made by companies like yours on Indeed worldwide, according to Indeed data. So spend less time searching, spend more time actually interviewing the candidates who check off all of those boxes. Take away the stress, take away the time, take away all of that stuff that you hate about hiring, and get the job done with Indeed sponsored jobs. You'll get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire. This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. As I'm here at TD Garden, so there might be background noise if you hear it. That's the crews kind of changing things over. The ice is down. I'm looking this way in the rafters, like I'm at eye level with the 1966 championship banner over there. They've got the ice down for the Bruins, but I'm up here talking to you about the Celtics. Thank you for making the show your first listen every day. You're an everydayer. Join the Everydayer Club. $5 a month, $50 for the year. You'll get access to ad-free audio, which is it's available at all of the major podcasting app. You can get onto our Discord server with live game chats, Celtics and NBA chats. So check that out, lockdownceltics.supercast.com. So there was a game. The Celtics won it by 20. The shooting was awful in the first quarter. Both teams were in the 20% range for a long time. The Celtics recovered after a while. We'll say the recovery after the Hornets loss, they got in there. They were rebounding better. They grabbed a ton of offensive rebounds. They did a good job with that. So they stuck with it and were able to kind of the shooting recovered, and they figured it out. And part of that is because all of the big name guys that had big time games, right? Jaylen Brown had a 24.7 rebound, 7 assist game, 2 steals, plus 20. He was 9 of 17 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 of 6 from 1. Just an overall 3 offensive rebounds. And overall, just really good. It's going to be an underrated game. People aren't going to talk about Jaylen's game in this one, probably very much because of all the other stuff that was happening. But Jaylen had a really good game and kind of carried the scoring for a little bit. Each one of these guys had a moment, right, that they carried the scoring. Even Jayson carried it for a little bit. Derrick White had a great game, 20 points on 8 of 16 shooting. Was a little bit cold from 3, but 2 of 2 from the line. He had 4 assists. He had 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. The best defensive guard in the league. I don't care who you name. Derrick White is better, and he had stretches there where he just quick hands, getting steals. He's just so smooth. You I don't know. I'm gonna stop because it just becomes gushing at this point. But Derrick was great. Payton was good off the bench. 19 points, 8 of 17 shooting, but also 7 rebounds, 6 assists. He got 2 blocks. So those blocks tend to be when a guy is dribbling and he gathers, and just like as he's bringing the ball up, you swipe down at it. That because it's the gather and you're going up, that counts as the beginning of a shot. Those become blocks. I think they should be steals. I think a blocked shot should be at the top of the shot, but whatever. This is the what the rules are, and so Payton gets a couple of blocks. Good for him. Nemi was great. 16 points, 15 rebounds, a block, a steal. Running the pick and roll to get that early lob with Jayson. It's just a great overall game for Nemi. Look, the Celtics played. They were kind of cold. They made their run at the end of the second quarter. They made a run at the end of the third quarter. Closing out quarters strong is a big focus for Joe Mazzulla, and they did that at the end of the second, end of the third, and then they put the game away at the beginning of the fourth. At one point, it was a 14-5 run to end the third quarter, and then I saw 20-7 to start the fourth. So what's that? 34-12 is the run that put this game away. That's how you're supposed to do it. You end quarters well, you start the next quarter well, and you build up a big lead. And the Mavs aren't good enough. This is what they want. This is the result that they want in Dallas. It's great. Cooper Flagg was fine in this game. Did not shoot particularly well. Where was he? 7 of 23. That counts as not shooting particularly well. 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He had a few turnovers. So, an okay night back home in his home crowd, in front of his home crowd, hometown crowd, I suppose I should say, not the home, because his home crowd is Dallas. He's a Dallas Maverick for now. Anyway, so that's it. Not much to say about the game. The story of this is more about Tatum, who I just am impressed by him, impressed by where he is, and incredibly encouraged for what he's going to be moving forward. I just think he looks good. He kind of looks like himself, And as he gets that wind back and gets his legs back and figures some things out, he will just slowly work his way back into the mix. I don't know what this team's ceiling is, but I can't put a limitation on it. If this is the Jayson Tatum, like I said before, if this is the starting point for Jayson Tatum, what's the ending point this season? There's no, other than his shot was a little bit off, a lot of bit off at the beginning of this, and he looked tired. Other than that, I thought he looked good. Like, there was a couple of times where, Cooper went up with for a shot, and Jayson kind of like, what's really missing from Jayson is the quick burst, right? That quick jump, the second jump, that stuff isn't there yet. He even said after the game, I got a long way to go, which is true. Like, he's, if I had to put a number on it, I'd say he's probably 75% of what he's going to be. So that's further along than I thought. So we'll see about Sunday. It's a Sunday afternoon game. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a doctor, so I'm just guessing. I'm guessing based on my own experience from playing and being around the basketball for as long as I've been around. I would think that that's going to be a game that they will avoid, an afternoon game plus the time change, spring ahead. It's going to be it's too close. It's not a back-to-back, but it's very close, and I just don't know if he's going to be fully recovered. I don't think you want to push it too much too fast, so you got to let him fully recover, which means he'll probably be back for the San Antonio game, and then we'll see moving forward. It's an every other day kind of cadence, and will he be ready for every other day at that point? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the San Antonio game will be a bigger minutes thing, and then OKC will be a shorter minutes thing. It's like the concept behind a recovery run. You do a big long run one day, and then the next day you do like a little short 2-3 miles, just so your legs keep moving. So that could be a part of the plan too, right? Like, you don't want the atrophy. You don't want the lactic acid to build up. You don't want, atrophy wasn't the right word, but you don't want the you don't want it to stiffen up. You want the next day, like tomorrow, Jayson will do some light stuff just to keep the muscles moving, so you kind of combat the soreness. Sunday, he might just go through a little workout if he doesn't play, just to kind of keep things up. But just expect him to miss a couple of games here or there. But I'll just end it by repeating myself. I'm super encouraged. It's great. It's great. Everything positive from this game. Everything came up Millhouse in this game. Thanks for listening here. Thanks for watching. It's a bonus podcast. I'll do these bonus podcasts when they play on the weekends, so make sure you're subscribed. Bonus podcasts during the week. At this point, I'm not doing 5 podcasts a week. I'm probably doing closer to 8, 9, 10. So plenty of Celtics talk here. If you're new to the show, thank you for being a subscriber, or maybe you should be a subscriber. If you're a regular and everydayer with me through all of these shows, thank you so much for everything. And now I would love it if you shared the podcast and tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.